And it was showered with accolades and albums of the year, left, right, and
It
centre.
was, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, did that translate into sales?
No, no, absolutely, absolutely, it absolutely didn't. Behind the scenes, it was a weird thing because even though we had this particularly lauded album, Grayson was basically kind of saying to us, "Well, that's all very well and good, but you're not in the charts."
Welcome. We are Neil,
Luke and Dave.
340-somethings reminiscing on the runners and riders of 90s guitar music.
We look at the bands who soundtracked our youth on both sides of the pond and interview some of our heroes from the bands that defined a generation.
You'll hear about the good, the bad and the ugly of 90s guitar music.
This podcast is Stupid and Contagious. Right, episode 119 of the Stupid and Contagious podcast. We're talking to Sice from Boo Radleys later, so that's coming up. Before that, well, me and Dave have been away for the weekend, haven't we? We just got
Yes,
back
tell us all about it. So you just come back from Shine On. How was it? I bet you're fucking sick at the sight of each other. I was about to say that.
Fucking hate each other.
Yeah.
Two men in a van for a weekend. Don't recommend it. No, it's all right. It's all right.
I don't hate him as much as I thought I would, to be honest.
Yeah.
Sure. That's good.
Yeah, we made
That's
it.
Good.
We made it.
Did you sleep in the van?
Oh, you left a sock in my van, by the way, Dave.
I wondered where that was.
Yeah. It's probably been on
Did
your
you
knob.
Did you both sleep in the van?
Yeah.
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 Has the sock been on your knob, Dave?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Before we talk about the music, so both slept in the van. Did you get your bacon sandwich?
Two. Both mornings.
Both mornings. Brilliant.
It was good.
Got to be happy with that.
I'm impressed with this van.
Great.
It's got, it has everything you need. The shower works nicely.
Wow.
Although,
hot showers.
I had to teach him, like he'd installed the shower, which is something I couldn't do.
Yeah.
But he said to me, "Oh, sorry, Dave, you can't, it only goes warm. You can't make it hot." But what he didn't know was that there's a little button on the control. You just have to press it and then it keeps turning. You can have it as warm as you like.
I think it's so children don't burn themselves.
Yes, child-proof button.
So,
it works. Yeah. It works, obviously.
It threw me off. It threw me off.
Sure. That's
so
good.
if Dave hadn't come,
good.
I probably would have spent the whole of my life having warm showers.
Tepid showers.
Sure.
Yeah.
How about the music? What bands did you see, man?
Quite a few. So what, should we do highlights? Or
yeah, go on.
Yeah, I've got like an unexpected highlight and then general highlights.
Give us your unexpected
Dave's unexpected
one first.
highlight is the same as mine.
Oh, is it?
No,
well, I didn't expect to be that bothered about In Spiral Carpets, but I really enjoyed it.
No, it wasn't that one.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
That's good to hear. Yeah. Why were they so good?
I don't know. They don't just rattle through the songs. They put on a bit of a show. There's a bit of jamming, bit of, almost jazzy riffing along, for a lot, extending a song out for a long time.
A lot of instrumental parts, isn't there?
Yeah, I really like that. That's the thing, probably the thing I like most about the bands that I saw when they were doing that.
Nice. Neil, what was your unexpected highlight?
So my unexpected highlight was Sleeper. I don't mind Sleeper, but I was blown away by them. I thought they put on a great show.
They got the tunes,
really
haven't they,
good.
Sleeper? They got great songs.
Really good, and she's still a really charismatic front woman. It's just, it was great. Dave, you liked them as well, didn't you, Sleeper? They thought they were good.
Yeah.
But yeah, their version of Atomic was one of mine and Dave's highlights.
From the Trainspotting soundtrack. That is right.
Yeah, it was brilliant. And they've put in a bit of Joy Division, Love Will Tear Us Apart as well. And it was...
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's fucking...
I would have just liked if they just played that the whole time.
Atomic.
Yeah. It's just such a good song for a concert.
Yeah.
That's a
cult.
Yeah, they were really good. But my actual highlight of the weekend, which I wasn't expecting because I didn't really know what to expect, was... probably Jesus and Mary Chain.
Oh, that's interesting. I don't see you as a Jesus and Mary Chain fan, Neil. They're a bit kind of
I was saying to
experimental for you.
I was saying to Dave, not sure if I'd like them on record. I've heard bits of them, but as a live band, they're quite mesmerising with the light show and stuff. And
Yeah.
I think it was that.
Interesting. Well, they got a darkness to them, which I know you like your music dark.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
there's that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was that. But yeah, it was a great light show, big old stage. Yeah, it was just the whole thing, I think, was the gig itself. Yeah, I don't know if I'll particularly listen to much of their music all the time, but yeah, as a live band.
As a live show. Brilliant.
Great.
Love to hear that. Good stuff. Dave, how about you?
But
Jim will highlight?
Yeah, I really like the Jesus and Mary chain as well. They just got a bit of coolness to them even now, you know.
Yeah.
And of course, my highlight, of course, was the Blue Tones. And I realised...
They were good.
Yeah. That's the first time I've ever been at the front of any gig ever.
He was right on the barrier. He was on the barrier. Super fan.
I don't think Mark wanted me there.
No.
I think he did.
You know, probably didn't look like I was enjoying it, but I was.
Sure.
Look bored out of your head.
That's good stuff, man.
Blue Tones. I thought they were good Blue Tones as well. Other mention. Well, Smash. They were great. Smash. They were really good, actually. If it wasn't for Jesus and Mary chain, it wouldn't have been Smash.
Yeah.
Ultrasound were good.
Yeah, Ultrasound were really good as well.
Sure, they got such a massive sound, Ultrasound. That's perfect for that kind of bigger, kind of cavernous venue, right?
They were in a smaller sort of venue.
One.
Yeah, in one of the smaller venues. But it was really good though. It was really good. But when they played in March, they were on the bigger stage. Yeah, it works. Whatever. They're just great.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Did you chat to any rock stars?
No, didn't talk to anyone. Didn't talk to anyone because you don't really see them because they're all hanging out back. Yeah, they're in and out.
Yeah.
Didn't really chat to anyone.
Mind you, we probably could have gone backstage, right? When we first got there, we just walked in the wrong door and we went through the backstage to the front.
They're just busy, aren't they? They're busy doing their thing and
they are indeed.
It's quite hectic. It's quite hectic, I think. Oh, Ash are really good. Dave's not a fan, but I thought they were really good. Jesus Jones were good. Right. First time you've seen them.
I like them.
Dave. Yeah. And they were good. He hasn't aged. Well, I only saw him last year, but since last year he hasn't aged.
He hasn't aged since then.
Who else?
Censor.
Well,
Censor. Oh, they got to have been good, right?
Yeah, they were good.
Those vocals, right? It's great.
Yeah, I think Neil's about to say what I'm going to say.
They're still political activists, right? They're still quite into all of that. And I mean, I don't want to, because, you know, our listeners and stuff, I'm not saying that everyone's like this, but it does seem like those sort of political rants, I think half the people there may have been reform now. You know, people change
we're
over
that
time,
generation, aren't we? We're at that generation.
So whereas before it'd be like, you know, fuck the whatever, and everyone would go, it was more like falling on a lot of deaf ears. And also a lot of heckling back sort of thing.
Not a lot of heckling,
well, a bit.
I'd say.
A little bit.
Interesting.
Mutterings, you know, mutterings. Right. I guess if you're playing to that kind of age demographic, that's what you're going to get, isn't it? But I saw that at the PWEI Levelers gig as well. PWEI did a bit of a farage.
Even with that, I mean, if you're a Levelers fan, surely.
I know. I don't know.
Yeah.
People change. When you don't give people hope, that's what happens, isn't it?
Need to get on Hope Street.
Do. But no, they were really good though, Censor. They were really good. Sounded great in that room.
I got a lot of energy, haven't they? Still, I reckon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely.
So Reef played. I thought they were quite good, Reef. Dave's not a fan, I don't think.
I couldn't
I'm not a massive fan, to be fair, but I thought they were good.
I would have thought they'd be your thing, Dave, Reef.
No, I really don't like them.
Yeah, that's
they're not
fair,
on,
man.
are they?
That's fair. I don't mind a few Reef songs. Did I do Place Your Hands? They had to. They got to finish with that, surely.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Of course they did. Yeah. Who else did we see?
Well, we weren't there that long.
No. The bands were kind of, didn't see.
Oh, Cast. I'm not really bothered about them either, to be honest.
Well, they were doing it's 30 years since All Changed, so they're doing the album in its entirety. I quite like that concept.
Probably not a good idea
sometimes.
For a festival, isn't it? It's okay for your own gig, but not at a festival.
Don't care.
Right?
They've been supporting Oasis. They're done, aren't they?
I guess so. I guess so.
But I think, to be fair, I think they had an hour and a half, so I think they were going to do that album and then some songs, some other songs.
Yeah, I guess
as well.
they were the headliners, weren't they, for the whole thing?
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
very much.
Essentially.
Did you manage to meet up with any listeners?
No.
We tried.
Useless.
No one came.
That's a shame.
We tried a bit. We weren't.
Yeah,
we're
not
very
really.
good at
I saw a couple of
organising that
messages.
sort
You
of
didn't try very hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I admit I'm not very good at that sort of thing. Next time, listeners, you're better off organise it yourselves and we'll turn up. It's probably a better way to do it.
That is probably better. How did you go in the indie quiz?
Oh, Dave.
Oh, man, it was a great quiz.
Yeah.
We started off strong. We were in the top 10%.
Yeah, we got a mention, didn't we? We were in the top 15 at the start.
Right.
It was all downhill from there.
Neil made some howling mistakes.
I did.
Oh, no.
I did.
Give us one.
Well, and there was a later round where you got penalised for wrong answers.
He won't forget this, will he? He'll know exactly what I've done wrong.
There was just a couple of ones he just leapt in gambling, when we just didn't know. And there was one when I did know and he leapt in ahead of me.
Finger first, isn't it?
Yeah, because you get bonuses, you see, if you're the first.
Sure.
But not if it's wrong.
No.
And then they have like a trick question. So there was one where you have to name this gladiator, and then of course you think, I bet it's going to be Jet, or I bet it's going to be Wolf.
Yeah.
And then you have
Russell Crowe.
Yeah. And then you have to pick, it was Jet, but then you have to pick the answer. And he said, what was it, Neil? Some answers.
Yeah,
and then,
he sort of tricked everyone.
Yeah, he said
Jet, but he didn't say Jet, he said jet ski. And everyone had pressed Jet when as soon as
we
he
just
said
fell
Jet.
for it, went in on Jet
right
away.
Classic.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
It was good. But weirdly, I did some research. Well, we did some research because we thought this is a fucking good idea, this Wi-Fi quiz. He's onto something here.
It was weirder than that. We weren't talking about that. Well, we talked about that and then we thought, we were talking about Shed 7 and wondering
That's
what
right. We were wondering how much people... Yeah, we were wondering which bands were like full-time and they were doing sort of other jobs as well. So we said, let's have a look at Shed 7 and see what the members are doing. And the quiz guy, we had a quick look on ChatGPT'd it, obviously. And Alan Leach, former drummer of Shed 7, he now runs his quiz company. So that's what he does.
And he was the one reading out the questions.
And not only that, he appeared on stage playing bongos for the Blue Tones. So,
whoa, there you go, man of many talents.
Yeah, but yeah, that was quite random. It was good. That we also saw Sarah. Give her a mention, Sarah Dixon, or is it Sarah L. Dixon? Friend of the podcast.
Yeah.
Did some indie poetry for us. Yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
Just before the quiz, she does all this indie poetry, which was good, wasn't it? Enjoyed that.
Great. Did you speak to her after?
I said hello, but she was busy. She was trying to sell her books, I think. So I think I was getting in the way.
Yeah, probably were.
So,
yeah.
And cool. Rob Newman, Dave enjoyed it. I must admit, I did have a bit of a snooze because I was tired, but it wasn't because it was rubbish. It was just I was just very tired. But Dave enjoyed it. He watched the whole thing.
Yeah, it was a lot funnier than I thought it'd be.
That's you, that is.
I said we should have just shouted that the whole time.
Yeah.
See how long it would have been before we got ejected.
Yeah.
But yeah,
man, sounds good.
Anything
sounds
else?
Great.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. Trying to think of anything else to report. Robot beer, isn't it?
Is it?
Oh yeah.
Robot beer.
It's very convenient. Yeah, you just went to a beer machine when you wanted a beer.
Put your cup in, press the button, it pours a fucking beer.
That's normal.
Wait,
maybe in your land.
Yeah. I like the all-you-can drink kind of places. They have a beer machine. You just put it in. Yeah.
Well, it's new over here.
I guess it's fairly new. Yeah, it is exciting. Yeah.
But it's a bit like self-service checkouts. It doesn't actually eliminate humans because they still have to run the machines.
Well, it's less humans, isn't it?
Don't know.
Fewer humans.
Not sure if it is, It
is. We talked about it before. We need to tax the machines. That's the problem, isn't it?
Right, yeah. Needs to tax
the machines. Taxing them. Yeah.
That's what you need to do. Yeah, every machine should
pay income tax.
There you go.
There you
it's not going to work. That's never going to happen,
Well, we'll see.
But yeah, no, it was good. Good, a lot of good T-shirts on show. Exhausting though.
Yeah, I bet it was.
It's hard to stand up all day.
Old bastard. A couple of days.
And we were young, I think. The average
Dave
age was
sitting down at one point.
mid-50s.
Dave claims it. I think they're our age, but Dave reckons they're not.
Okay. Probably, maybe 1 or 2 years older, maybe not mid-50s, eh? Yeah, but I guess I'm sure there was a range.
Oh,
Has it given you the fever, Dave, to attend other festivals, to get more into going to see bands and stuff?
I wouldn't say so, no.
Oh.
brilliant.
No, but it's like I was saying about the Shed 7 one I went to. It's a fun thing to do with friends and stuff. But it's not, there's something a little bit,
He finds it a
which
bit
sounds
depressing
ridiculous.
that old people are going to watch music.
Yeah, it's insulting.
But it's just something about nostalgia that I find depressing.
I don't.
Whereas Neil loves it.
Yeah.
It's not so much that. If it's nostalgia or not, 8,000 people in a room singing along to a band. Well, it can't be a bad thing, can it?
Come on, you old bastard.
No matter what
enjoy
age
it.
you are.
But, to be fair, going with Neil wasn't that much fun because I was basically watching all the gigs on my own. He was just off around filming them from different angles.
Fucking doing stuff for the podcast. What's the point
I
of
know.
doing
Stuff
that?
for the police
So I didn't-
working.
Yeah, but I didn't get the true experience.
Oh, you
Did
have
I?
your arms around each
Well,
other's shoulders. And
What would you have done if he just wanted to go with his other mates? All he kept saying, it would be better if there was a group of us, wouldn't it? Be better if there's a group of us, wouldn't it?
Right.
I might have said that one.
Which
but it would have been, it would have been
better if it wasn't just me.
Everyone else was in groups, and then you'd really enjoy it, wouldn't you? You're all there together, singing along together. I mean, Neil can be in the group.
Yeah, sure.
I didn't mean a group without him.
No, but it's all right. We went for fish and chips, didn't we? That was nice. In Minehead, for some fish and chips. Went and sat in this weird cafe that just has shit everywhere. Not shit. But,
No.
Clutter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sounds like a good weekend. It's had by all.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. What about yourself? What have you been up to?
Not a lot. Got older. That's about it.
Oh, yeah. Many happy returns.
Cheers.
50, mate. Fucking hell.
56.
Dave's had this ongoing joke where he claims I'm 1 year older. He's been doing it for many, many years. The thing is, it's always a little bit funny.
But you're both 1 year older than
might
me.
be
That
right.
is true. You are both 1 year older than me.
No, like 6 months older. But last year with the 40s, eh? Fucking hell. We're gonna have. I was thinking about it. We're gonna have to change the podcast.
Oh,
240.
Yeah, 40 something.
340 somethings. That's what it says. We'll have to change that next year.
What's a 240 something and a 50 something?
Yeah,
then we'll have to
40
change
something.
it again 2 months later when you get 50.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
But, like, I do get a bit, getting older is not that much fun, is it? But the people there, they were still having a good time, they were still. Whereas Dave saw it as people sort of
50 is the new 30.
trying to
It's all good.
I think Dave sees it a bit. I know I'm not having a go at Dave here, but I think, and I do.
have a go at Dave. Go on.
Sees it as people trying to relive their youth, right? That's his point.
Yeah.
Whereas I just see people still having fun.
Yeah, I'm with Neil. I'm with Neil. Let him enjoy themselves, Dave. Killjoy.
A lot of it, though, is drinking's involved, right? Without
but you were drinking.
I do wonder, without the drinking, it wouldn't be a lot of fun,
That's the
would
same
it?
for everything, isn't it? It's part of British culture.
Try
and
it
every
without-
single
try it without
event
drinking.
or milestone involves drinking, doesn't it? So
I seem to have had a better time than you, and I didn't drink. So
There you
try
go.
that next time.
Well, I think we all should.
to get some
I recommend
Get
it.
some
Highly
pill.
recommend it. Highly recommend it.
ecstasy next time.
Yeah, we did.
Get some pills. Get on it.
Yeah, we did. Fucking off our nuts.
Did not. Did not.
There wasn't that sort of, don't think there was anyone doing that sort of thing. Didn't appear to be.
Lager.
Lager, wasn't it? Weather was shit though. Just put that in.
Indoors though, right?
Got caught in a flood on the way, didn't we, Dave?
Yeah, we were lucky to get through it.
Right, shall we get into this week's podcast? Sice from Boo Radleys. Let's do it, right? Right, so if you are watching this, then please do rate and review. No, if you're watching it, then subscribe to our channel. Get involved in the comments. Oh, give it a thumbs up. Sorry, I'm all over the place. Bit tired. And if you're watching, rate, review, and share it with your friends so that they can find the podcast. Well, as this goes out, I probably will have already sent off the order for t-shirts, but you can still get them. Just can't guarantee your size. So get in there quick, and you'll probably be able to get the size you want, or a mug. Get mug and all. Not that one. It'd be more like this one. For those of you listening, that's a Stupid and Contagious mug. You can buy those on our Stupid and Contagious Shopify store. There you go. Right, that's that. That's that bit done, isn't it? Why has everyone gone silent, not talking to me? I feel like I'm just talking to myself.
Just waiting for you to hurry the fuck up.
Fucking hell, all right. Right,
Yeah.
Boo Radleys. Tell us all about it.
All right. Have you got a Wikipedia description?
No. Oh, yeah, I have. English alternative rock band.
Sure. Why not? Why not?
Yeah.
Well, they started off, as I'll tell you, they started off as kind of a grungy kind of shoegaze band and then went Britpop and then kind of turned back into kind of a more kind of arty kind of shoegazy band. But yeah, let's go through the history. So basically, we got formed in the Wirral in Merseyside in 1998. So Sice, Simon Robon, today's guest.
Hang on, that's not right.
What do you mean?
98.
88, sorry. Thanks, Dave.
Well
caught.
picked up on
Well
Dave.
caught. I'd written
He's still in
98
quiz
on my
mode.
notes. He is. I'm sorry.
So we
98,
didn't say. So we came 76th in the quiz.
Out of how many?
150.
Halfway.
Yes,
That's
we're
not
sort of
bad.
mid-table. It's not great for a podcast that claims to be knowledgeable on 90s music. We don't claim to be.
Because the knowledge guy
you'd have
wasn't
been
with
there.
us.
I wasn't there.
that's fair.
I'm rubbish at quizzes, though. I probably wouldn't have been much
Oh,
help.
I think you'd have been all right. Actually, no, you're a bit clumsy. You would have pressed the wrong thing.
I am a bit cack-handed, aren't I? Yeah.
Yeah. So
probably
I
right.
don't know. Anyway, carry on. Sorry.
Today's guest, Simon Robottom, goes by the name of Sice, and his school friend, Martin Carr. So they've known each other since they were 10 years old or whatever. Then a guy called Tim Brown on bass. And then the first drummer, he says that they went through a few, but there was a first main one, guy called Steve Hewitt. He was there for their first album. Interesting guy, Steve Hewitt. He was in an early band of like a pre-Charlatans band of Tim Burgess, the Electric Crayons. He was in before he was in the Boo Radleys. And then after the Boo Radleys, he became the drummer for Placebo during their popular years. Basically, when Nancy Boy came out, he got on board and he was there for like 10 years as drummer of Placebo.
It's all right, isn't it?
It's all right, yeah. So they had first album came out in 1990, Ichabod and I. So we talk about it quite a lot actually in the interview. I think he tried to skate over it, but I kept making him talk about it.
Can I talk a bit about it now?
Yeah, go on.
Like you said, it's really Dinosaur Jr. shoegaze.
It really
it's not
is,
Wake Up Boo, is it? It ain't Wake Up Boo.
No, it's not. No,
it's good. I liked it.
It's not even. I liked it as well. It's a real kind of heavy.
I think he probably doesn't
really
like it
grungy
because
guitars.
He doesn't like it because of the production. It is because it is a little bit. I don't know. Yeah, it does. Yeah, I get it. But the songs, I like the songs. I think they're really good.
Me too. Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, and Sice wrote a few of the songs on that album as well. For most of the band, Martin Carr was the main songwriter, but I think Sice wrote 2 or 3 tracks on that first album.
Yeah, no, it's definitely worth
put out-
checking out if you haven't already. It's good.
Yeah, as I say in the interview, I didn't know it existed, and I really like it as well. So yeah, Ichabod and I put out on a small label, Preston label, Action Records, vinyl only, I think, as far as I can work out. Never released on CD or cassette or anything, and never re-released. So it's kind of, it's not on Spotify either.
I won't ever be able to listen to it then, will I?
That's it. There you go.
Pardon me if I
It's on
carry
YouTube.
YouTube around.
But yeah,
Which I do.
you do. It's in your pocket.
Yeah.
But as he says, get played by John Peel, which got them signed to Rough Trade. They released a few EPs on Rough Trade, but Rough Trade basically went tits up, and that was it for the band. So Creation stepped in and basically took them over. Second album came out, Everything's All Right Forever, 1992. Hit number 55 on the charts. Not bad for a debut. Well, not really a debut album, but proper debut album. Bit less grungy than the first one. Much more kind of shoegazy, dreamy shoegazy. A bit more kind of what was going on in shoegaze at the time, right? So
Dream
1992,
Dream
Dreamgaze. I wouldn't call it Dreamgaze. No, but sure.
Oh, is there
Why
such a
not?
thing as
Why
dream
not?
gaze?
Some people do use that. Yeah, I don't like it. Yeah, you can also get black gaze, which is kind of like black metal-y shoegaze. There's all kind of gazes these days. But yeah, that kind of made them completely part of that whole shoegaze scene that was happening at the time. But their third album, Giant Steps, was a completely different beast. So big, hugely ambitious, 17-track, 64 minutes, massive sounding album. They called it Intentional Masterpiece. I think I saw it.
It is a masterpiece.
Anyway,
It is a
review.
masterpiece.
It's an interesting way to look
Given
at it.
that.
But intentional
Yeah,
masterpiece. I like that idea. They set out to make a big, bold, fucking ambitious record, right?
Yeah, not many bands do it because it's quite a risk. But it's good.
Yeah.
I guess they did it early on, so there was nothing to lose, really. Yeah, they probably
I
wouldn't
guess
have done that
It's a
after
third
Wake
album
Up
by that
Boo.
point. But
No.
yeah, that's true. That's true.
Is it a
Although they
double
did kind
album?
of try to. I guess so. 64 minutes it would have to be.
17 tracks.
Because
Isn't
I
it?
had
17
that album,
tracks.
but I don't remember it being a double.
If you had it on CD, it would have fit onto a CD because CDs
Yeah,
can
it
have
was
like
one
72
CD.
minutes work, can't they? They can have 72
Yeah.
minutes on the CD. Isn't that like the original CD was at the same length as
can't
some
remember.
like Beethoven's fucking Ninth Symphony or something?
Is that right?
Isn't that right? Something
Sounds
like that.
That's
right.
why is that why
Yeah.
it's that length, is it?
Yeah, like whoever the Sony dude, like some Japanese guy who was really into whatever it is, Beethoven or whatever the composer was.
Right.
Yeah. So mixing jazz and dub and harmonies and incredible
All
album.
sorts in there. What's that track? I made a note of it. Sorry, bear with.
Hate it when you say bear with.
I know. Butterfly McQueen.
Okay.
Great song.
All right. I'll put it on the playlist. I was listening to it earlier, actually. It's a great album. Lazarus was the single that preceded it and kind of helped get them noticed.
Yeah.
And so basically got a 9 out of 10 review in NME, number 2 in NME's Album of the Year chart, number 1 in Select's Album of the Year chart, basically critical acclaim all over the place. Got them a slot on the Lollapalooza tour in 1994. Again,
I wanna
listen to
go
the
on
interview
that.
to hear him
I'd
talk
like
about
to
it.
go on that.
And they also did a cover of the last track, There She Goes, for the So I
Just
Married an
ignored
Axe Murderer soundtrack, which is great.
Just ignored it.
But
Completely ignored what I said.
go on, what did you say, Neil?
I don't matter now.
I didn't hear it. I didn't ignore it. I didn't hear
carry
it.
on.
Go
Don't
on.
worry. Just
No,
carry
say
on.
you're hilarious.
No, it don't matter. It's gone.
I
The
wanna hear it
moment's
now.
gone now.
No,
Wasn't
I want to
even
hear
funny.
it.
I was just-
That's what
Now
makes
you
it even
know.
funnier
Hold on.
now that I'm making you do it.
All I said
Come
was
on.
Now
I'd
you know
like
what
to
it's
have been
like
on,
to be locked in.
been on the Lollapalooza tour. That was it. That's all I said.
All right. And then?
That's it.
All
No,
right.
you made me look stupid. You purposely
No,
did it
no,
so that I'd look stupid.
me too. No, me too. I'd have liked to have been on the Lollapalooza 1994 tour.
All right, carry on.
Now. But you say that, but you might not have been if you listen to him talk
Not
about
in
it
the
in
car
interview.
park,
We can maybe
right.
talk about it
Yeah,
after.
not in the car park.
Not in the car park. No.
Why is it called that?
It's named after the founder, John Lollapalooza.
Really?
No.
All leading up basically to their big album, fourth album, Wake Up! In 1995. Hit number 1 on the album charts. Huge hits. Wake Up Boo, number 9. It's Lulu, Find the Answer Within, and Britpop Superstars, basically.
Yeah.
And listen to the interview to hear his take on the whole kind of being a pop star thing. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah,
we
we'll
can talk about it after.
Yeah.
So
Well, it is interesting. We'll talk about it after.
So after that huge success, their 5th album, Come On Kids, was deliberately kind of a bit kind of louder and artier with a bit of a heavier sound going on. And again, we'll talk about it after, but their idea was to kind of, the kids that are bought kind of wake up where they can bring them along to a bit more interesting kind of things, but it didn't really work. Although it got to number 20 in the album charts, which is pretty good. Big hits from it. Come On Kids, What's in the Box, See What You Got. So, it was...
What's in the box?
It did well.
What's in the box?
Exactly. It's almost like he's here with us again. Yeah.
You know what that was,
exactly
right?
like that.
That was my 7 impression
Oh,
from the film.
Oh, okay.
Good one.
Yeah.
Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. Well, you didn't even know what it was. It wasn't that good. Neither of you knew what I was
I
doing.
thought you were singing.
No.
I thought you were singing the song.
Mate, I just look like an idiot on this episode.
Weird, that, isn't it? They did release a sixth album, King Size, in 1998, limped to number 62 on the charts. And he talks about the interview. Basically, their heart wasn't really in
It's
it.
a bit rude.
The band broke up very soon
number
after.
62.
Oh, I think it's a fair
guess.
representation of what happened. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Sorry. When it did, though, it did. But he said himself their heart wasn't really 62. In it. It
exploded.
It did. Number 62 with a bullet.
Yeah, that's better.
And they broke up pretty early on in 1999, pretty soon after. They all went their separate ways. So Martin Carr formed Brave Captain and released a whole load of albums, like 5 or 6 records under that name. Bassist Tim became a teacher, moved to Ireland, became a teacher.
They all become bloody teachers, don't they, these musicians?
They do, a lot of them, yeah. Interestingly, so he had a band called Paper Lung for a little while, but not too long. Then he wrote a novel, and then he trained as a psychologist. So he's a doctor of psychotherapeutic psychology.
Who's Simon?
Dr Sice. Doctor, yeah, one of my crew. Yeah.
Are you Dr. Lawrence?
Pretty amazing, right? I am Dr. Lawrence, motherfucker. Yeah.
Dr. Fonseca Lawrence.
Don't look anything like him. That was all going along, normal life. That is until 2020. And they got back together as a 3-piece without main songwriter Martin Carr. Listen to the interview to find out why that is.
Someone woke up Boo.
Someone woke up Boo. Have you been planning that?
I planned it then for a little.
Yeah, it was good, man.
There was a little gap before
I
said it. I had to work out in my head whether it's going to work.
Oh, it was good.
I think it landed.
I think it did. I liked it a lot. And since then, they've been fucking going for it, basically. They had album in 2022, Keep On With Falling, another album in 2023 called 8. They got a new album coming next year, and they're playing gigs and all over the place. So why not, right?
An album a year, isn't it?
Mate, if you got the inspiration, get it done. They're fully back. There you go, Boo Radleys.
All right. Let's have a listen to the interview, and then we'll come back after. Here's Sice from Boo Radleys. Enjoy. Sice, thanks so much for coming on. Where are you joining us from today? Where's home at the moment?
I live near Oxford now. I've lived near Oxford for 25 years now. It's been a long time since I've lived in Liverpool. Which is where we're originally from. Moved here from London about 25 years ago, raised the kids. I love it around here. I think I'm a southerner at heart.
Yeah. Are you losing your accent?
Yes, I think so. I mean, although, like everybody, if I go anywhere near the Northwest, it comes back strongly. Yeah, so I know speak to family on the phone, it comes back as well. But yeah, most of the time, my kids are dead posh.
Sure. Yeah. I saw you just come off tour. Is that right?
Yeah. We did a week. So we finished weekend before last. So we did a week. We did 2 dates in the UK, and then we went over to France for the first time in 30 years. So we did 1 day in Amsterdam and then 4 dates in France, which was just phenomenal. It's absolutely brilliant. So first time we'd been there in 30 years, and the welcome was just astonishing. So it was brilliant to do. Really good.
That's great.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. France. Did they have a big following in France back in the day?
We did. Yeah. I mean, it was a weird one, we don't know why it was. They loved Giant Steps, the album. And it sort of, it petered off a little bit when we sort of went later on in the career. But I think we always, that was one of the first places that we went that people really loved us. They loved us early on. I mean, we did go there quite early on in our career. For some reason, we got sort of invited to a Liverpool thing. It was kind of a Liverpool festival where all the Liverpool bands went over to Paris. I think that sort of kick-started it. That was about 1990. So that sort of kick-started it. So yeah, we've always done really well over there. They've always loved us, and we've loved it. We've loved them as well. they've always been fabulous.
Yeah,
that's very nice. Yeah.
Yeah. I was also just listening to the new single, Solar Side.
All right. Yeah.
Sounded great. Can you tell us about it?
Yeah, it's a taster off the new album. So the new albums, I'm going to be working on that this weekend, actually. So the new albums, we're looking to bring it out sort of May time. So we've been working on that sort of on and off over the last year or so. Solar Side is a song that's kind of lyrically, weirdly, it's got a French connection because it's about the French organization called the Solar Temple, which was a cult. Um, that had that I watched a documentary on the iPlayer about it, and it just made me very, very angry. So lyrically, it's kind of about that.
What kind of a cult? What kind of a cult are we talking?
Well, they were. I mean, they were sort of the weirdest thing about it is that there were a spate of suicides. I mean, there were mass suicides in this cult. Like all cults, they are started and led by people for monetary gain, and I think it's just taking advantage of vulnerable people who are looking for something in their lives, and it fascinates me and appalls me at the same time. So it's kind of it's grist for the lyrical mill.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. And in the new album, have you got a title for it yet?
We think it's going to be called In Spite of Everything, and which is a kind of it kind of I suppose it's a thing about how you carry on in spite of everything, but it also has a little edge to it as well. So it was one of those things with album titles is that we bounce backwards and forwards like 30 titles, and that was the one that everyone went, oh, that sits. Everyone kind of went, yeah, that one sits. Yeah, it's a weird one, really. When you're sort of democratic in that regard. And you don't have anybody saying, I want to call it this. It's always kind of difficult how you sort of fall on something. But we were quite lucky with that one, is that everyone just went, yeah, that's it, that fits.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Sounds right.
So spite as in spitefulness as well as in spite of everything.
Yeah, well, yeah, slightly. That's the edge to it. But more than me does it kind of, yeah, so there is that edge of spite, I guess, which is an interesting concept.
Oh, it's too much of it these days going around.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Can you take us right back to the beginning, putting the band together and everything like that?
Yeah, I mean, we were a school band essentially. We were mates before. Me and Martin were sort of close friends from about the age of 10. And just always wanted to be in a band. That was the thing that as soon as we saw Top of the Pops and I think it was Top of the Pops basically was the thing that you just sort of fell in love with. And I was quite lucky in that I had two older brothers so they were religious watchers, and it was just it's like they often say about kind of cultural touch points in the 1970s, like everybody used to watch Morecambe and Wise or whatever, but Top of the Pops was that everybody watched. And so as soon as that happened, I just became fascinated with music. That was the thing. And so in my mind, there was nothing else I wanted to do other than be in a band. And so the weird thing is that we pretty much sort of practiced being in a band without actually doing any music for ages. We would do pretend interviews and pretend concerts and stuff. And it was only when we were about 15, 16 that we kind of thought, shit, we better learn some instruments. And so, and the thing is that, we weren't very proficient. So as soon as there was a kind of punk ethic there in that as soon as we kind of learned 3 chords, we started writing songs. That was the main thing. It was like, it wasn't really, we weren't a covers band. We could never do covers because we weren't that proficient. So we kind of, so we initially went into writing songs, which was quite unusual. And that was around the time of 15. Tim was very proficient musically and was in another band who were just way ahead of us. And we basically sort of poached him, really. And I think he was sort of attracted by the fact that although musically we weren't great, the songs were pretty good, and I think that was what sort of attracted him. So that was it really. From about the age of 16, there was the three of us, and then really we went through the kind of Spinal Tap succession of drummers.
Sure.
Everybody does. So there was
Every band.
every band. So there was like a succession of drummers. All good guys, but never the perfect fit until about night. We'd made one record as sort of, and then we got introduced to Rob, and it was just like bang, he's the perfect fit. It was just like, yeah, brilliant. And that was it really. So from that point on, we were kind of away. That was when Rob joined. We just sort of lifted off. We got interest from Rough Trade Records and John Peel, and that was the trajectory started.
Sure. So you say like Top of the Pops was like the spark. So were you listening to like pop back then, or were you more into that indie stuff?
Well, it was a bit of everything. I mean, that was the good thing. It was a bit of everything. So, but yeah, pop was a huge thing. I mean, that was the thing, is that whatever was presented on Top of the Pops or the Top 40. That was all we had, really. I mean, I'd get slightly introduced to older things by my brothers. My brother was one of my older brothers was a huge Stranglers fan. So so I used to, because I was like 10 years old. I mean, so I used to listen to a lot of his Stranglers records and stuff. But my mum and dad weren't big music fans, so I didn't have a big catalogue to dip into. So yeah, it was about pop music. It was about school discos. It was about Top 40. It was about Radio 1. That was what we kind of listened to. So the bands that we really loved were pop bands. We sort of early 80s. It was about Human League, and it was about Duran Duran. It was about, I never liked Spandau, but Depeche Mode, all those kind of early 80s synth bands, they were huge. It was only later on when we got to about, I don't know, 84, 85. Oh, I love the Smiths as well, as soon as I got into the Smiths. But 84, 85, when we were sort of 14, started reading the music press, and then started discovering independent bands, Jesus, Mary Jane and Bodines. And that was when we sort of drifted towards our interest in more independent music. And somehow that seemed a bit more accessible. The whole pop synth thing, we were just like, how'd you do that? That was just,
you're not going to be in a yacht with supermodels or whatever, like Duran Duran.
Yeah. It was like, there was this weird sort of dichotomy there that was like, okay, that's the lifestyle, but how do you make that kind of music? It's just, we don't get it. But as soon as you started hearing guitar bands, it was like, oh, hang on, if you know these few chords, we can do that. So that was what sort of, I think, drifters towards that. Plus, a lot of the mid 80s music was becoming quite, the mainstream pop was becoming quite vacuous and a bit overblown and a bit crap. So it really was, the more interesting stuff was happening in the independent scene, really. So that was especially when late 80s, when we were hearing records by My Bloody Valentine, Dinosaur Jr. and Wedding Presents and lots of other bands, we were kind of like, yeah, this is good stuff, this is really. So that was where we sort of towards that area, really.
It's like, it's interesting, like people pick up guitars and stuff, and anyone can learn it to some degree, but how did you know that you could sing? Singing's different, right? You need to have some kind of talent in there in the first place.
Well, really weirdly, I don't think I did, and I don't think I've ever been a confident singer as such. I don't think I have a very distinctive voice. The only time that anything that ever gave me any confidence was about the age of 12. I was in Martin's bedroom, and we were we were miming along to a Stray Cats blues record called Drink That Bottle Down, and I was singing along really loudly. And I heard his dad shout up from the garden, "Who's that singing?" And I was like shit scared. I thought I was going to be told off. And I was like, well, it was both of us. And he was like, no, who was the one who was actually singing that line? And I said, that was me. And he said, "You've got a good voice." And that was the only time I think that sort of it solidified. Okay, maybe I can sing. And really, it was
That's
just
really
about
stuck with you, though, right? That's really stuck with you. That's
that massively
a profound moment.
Yeah, for that moment, that hugely stuck and sort of gave me the confidence. But really, it was just a kind of, okay, we're in a band, who's going to do what, and I think whatever, we decided, right, I'm going to be the singer, and that was it. But we all kind of sing, we all kind of sing on the records, we all kind of sing live. So, but that was that was kind of, it was sort of decided from there on, and then it just continued. But I wouldn't ever really say that I was a singer. I mean, a front man maybe, but not.
Come on, yeah, come on.
Well, the singers.
I think you've proved yourself.
Yeah, I think you've done enough. Yeah, to be fair. You mentioned that you did put out like an album early on. To be honest, I didn't even know that existed until I was researching to do this interview, and I had a listen. It was. Can you describe it to people that might not have heard it?
It's horrible. I mean,
no, it's not at all.
We're talking
why?
We're talking about Ichabod and I, yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's a really weird record. I mean, I hadn't listened to. I sampled it a couple of years ago, and I was like wincing. It's just a weird mishmash. I mean, I think the good thing about it is that that was an example of the fact that we could write songs, and we were good with structure, and we were good with melody, and we were trying to do something, and it's just a very weird record, mainly because at that point we didn't know what we were doing recording wise. We'd done a few demos and stuff, but we were playing live. And basically, Gordon, a guy called Gordon at Action Records in Preston, who was basically a record shop, God bless him, just basically said, look, if I give you $1,000, and you go and record, we can make an album, sort of 8-track album. So we went to this place in Manchester, and the engineer and us had no idea what we were doing. So the engineer was bless him, he was a dance music engineer. He was used to dance music.
Right. Yeah.
Then comes this band with terrible amps, that we borrowed or stolen or whatever. Terrible amps, terrible equipment, no idea what we were doing, and just batched out these 8 songs over about 3 or 4 days. And so we often talk about what to do with that. We often kind of go, do we need to remix it, remaster it, redo it? And in the end, I think we just decided I would just leave it alone, because it was apart from anything else, it was a calling card. It was basically a demo. And then the amazing thing was, again, God love him, John Peel, we sent a copy to John Peel, and within a day he was playing a track off it. Wow. And it was just, whoa, that's amazing. I mean, that sort of thing was just mind blowing. That was when it kind of, we went from just being a kind of, just a band doing local stuff, and suddenly it was like boom. And then, because we were played on John Peel, the phone started ringing. So it was, that was when, invited down to Rough Trade, which was the Smiths record label, which was just like, whoa. That was I often forget about that, really, is the big moment. People talk about, when Wake Up Boo went in the charts and those kind of things.
Yeah.
But being played on John Peel was just like mind blown. It was just so it was that was amazing.
Yeah, incredible. I really enjoyed the album. I heard a lot. I heard it, like you mentioned Dinosaur Jr. I heard I've got a Dinosaur Jr. sound going on. It's a cool record.
Yeah, it's very, very influenced by Dinosaur Jr. I mean, one of the songs is called Bodenheim Jr., which is like which is a tribute to Dinosaur Jr. So it's very Dinosaur Jr. The weird thing is that we were that was very much of that period when we were hugely influenced by Dinosaur Jr. and My Bloody Valentine. Those were the bands that at that point we were just like, wow, we want to be those bands. And so that album was very particularly like that. But but our influences and our loves are so broad and so widespread that album feels like a little bit of a narrow kind of artifact now. It's like, okay, that doesn't really encompasses exactly what we were doing at that time, but it doesn't really feel like us.
Right. It's a stepping stone to sure. So that's what got with Rough Trade. So then, were you kind of playing with like shoegazy bands and stuff after that?
Yeah. I think I'm trying to remember. A lot happened then. We played with a lot of other bands. Weirdly, we were playing with kind of shoegazy bands and kind of grungy Grebo bands around that time who were all around. I mean, we were, there's still one of the places is in. We used to play was Planet X in Liverpool. They used to get all the bands coming through, but we were on a double bill with Primal Scream at that point, who was still sort of coming out of their kind of Sonic Flower Groove period.
Leather trouser period. Yeah.
So they were around. Bands like the Senseless Things. We played with Slow Dive. We played, God, yeah, pretty much everybody. Moose. There was just that movement of scenes. So partly what happened after the Rough Trade thing is we started getting gigs in London, and I think that was where we would find ourselves on the bill, because we didn't really know. Promoters obviously paired us together with bands that they knew about. But I mean, the next big thing was a support with the Wedding Presents. I remember that. Gedgie was a huge Peel fan, and so I think he picked up on us from John Peel and invited us to support. We also ended up supporting Dinosaur Jr. and My Bloody Valentine, so that was
wow.
So it was
Pinch
just
yourself moment, right?
Yeah, totally. I mean, it was amazing. So that was the next stage, and then was making the album for Rough Trade, making Everything's All Right Forever for Rough Trade, which didn't happen. Well, it did happen. We recorded the album, and then Rough Trade went bust, which is how Creation got involved. We ended up, I'm trying to remember. I can never remember the chronology of it, but basically, we ended up sharing a manager with Slow Dive, so we ended up with. A guy who was managing Slow Dive at the time ended up managing us. Slow Dive were on Creation, and I think he basically went to Alan McGee and said, "Look, the band's recorded the album. Rough Trade's gone down. Do you want the album?" And I think Alan just said, "Yeah, whatever. If it's already recorded, we'll take the band." So then we ended up on Creation, which was just like the dream,
Sure.
My Bloody Valentine's label, Jesus and Mary Chain, all these bands.
Yeah, I mean that time, were you there for the hedonistic years? Creation Records, all the stories of tea trolleys full of drugs being taken around on a Friday morning and all of that.
Yeah, I mean, we dipped in and out of it mainly because we weren't London based. So, so it totally depended, what we were doing and whether we had the opportunity. Because oftentimes when we were down in London at that point, we were still living in Liverpool. So often when we were down, we were there for gigs or whatever. So it was pretty rare that we got a chance to go over to the offices in Hackney where they were at the time. But yeah, I mean, Alan McGee was completely off his nut at that time. The guy was just speeding off his nut.
The time of his life.
Everybody else was, it was this crazy, because we didn't really know what was going on, because there were all these faces around and people that were, involved and Bobby Gillespie's brother and the Scream lot, so people you would just stand in pubs and there'd be people around, and you just be thinking, who's this guy? He's off his nut. So we weren't at the center of it, but, we would kind of go in and sample it. And to be honest, it was all a bit kind of bewildering. You'd kind of come in and be like, okay, what's going on here? And, okay, that guy's off his nut. And but it was good fun, really. It was good fun.
Did you join in?
Amazing they kept that label going.
Yeah, I mean, we did kind of sample, and we did kind of join in. I mean, we were more than the drugs thing. We were drinkers. That was the weird thing. We liked our drink, and so alcohol fueled pretty much from about 1991 to about 1997. I think that was kind of it was just a constant. It was I mean, and it wasn't constant. We would, when you got to the middle of the 90s, you would have kind of periods where you'd be off tour or away, and so you could kind of detox a little bit, but then it would kind of begin again. But yeah, there was it was that mid 90s period. It became sort of very sort of hedonistic and which was has both sides. It's
of course
good fun, but it brought with it a lot of
it's not all bad, is it?
It wasn't all bad. No.
Sure. Can we talk about Giant Steps? So it's widely seen as your masterpiece album. Can you talk about putting it together and what you wanted to achieve going into making the album?
Well, it's a very weird thing. I mean, I think I think, the thing about Giant Steps was that it was preceded by Lazarus, which I think was very, very important because as far as I remember, Everything's All Right Forever was a kind of, when we released it on Creation, it was a
That's the
bit
second album, right?
yeah, that was the one that was recorded for Rough Trade and was very sort of shoegazy. And I think we sort of, I don't know, I think we sort of missed the boat a little bit. I think by that stage everyone was a little bit kind of fed up of that. It kind of seemed a little bit de rigueur, um and so it was kind of lukewarmly received, and so we were a bit. I think we felt we were a bit lost at that point, and didn't really know where to go. And then at some point we went in and we recorded Lazarus, and Lazarus as a single was just like we went. I think it was the first song where we weren't trying to be anything. It was just like, right, okay, this thing's come up. Let's just do what we feel like doing. And I think that gave Creation a bit of confidence in us. I think before they were a bit kind of like, not sure about this band. But it gave us a bit of confidence. So basically, they just booked us some studio time, and Creation were wonderful. I mean, it's Alan McGee that gets the most kudos, but the person that always gets forgotten is Dick Green, who ran Creation with him, and Dick Green was our champion, and he really got us. And basically, he just kind of said, just have some studio time. So we had about 6 weeks in Protocol Studios in London, and I just remember going in, and it really was just whatever. We had no, it was just, it really felt like, right, what should we do now? And we kind of, it was us, and there was an engineer there, Andy Wilkinson, who went, really good friend, and ended up playing keyboards with us. And so it was just like, yeah, what do we do? There was no sort of aim, particularly, other than nothing is off limits. It was just like, right, what do we do? What do we like? And I think that was where the wider influences, whereas before we always kind of felt, oh, we like the Beach Boys, we like the Beatles, we like dub, we like this, we like reggae, we like all these different kind of Spanish stuff. We are like all this different stuff, but we always kind of felt, oh, that doesn't fit. This time it was like, well, bollocks to it. This is the stuff we like. Let it come out. So that was it, really. I mean, and again, there was no great grand ambition. I think we just recorded. I think everything we recorded went on the album. I think it really was just there was no sort of, okay, what belongs on the album and what. It was just like, right, there you go. That's everything we've done. There's an album. And I think, we liked it. We liked a lot of it, and it felt like us for the first time. It felt like, okay, that's more
your
like
identity as a band. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. That was kind of, okay, we're all over this, instead of us trying to be something else. That was that. So I think we were quite surprised when it was sort of received as well as it was. I think we were very, very pleased, but I think we were kind of like, oh, okay, right, we've done something here. This is people like it. Yeah.
And it was showered with accolades and albums of the year, left, right, and center.
It was, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, did that translate into sales?
No, absolutely, absolutely, it absolutely didn't. And this was the weird thing, is that we it was lauded, and but it didn't translate to sales. I mean, it limped across about 60,000, I think. And that's the weird thing. That's what really influenced. I mean, that's what really influenced the next album, I think, because behind the scenes, it was a weird thing, because although we had this critically lauded album, what was happening alongside, certainly at Creation, was that Primal Scream were getting into the charts, Ride were getting into the charts, Teenage Fan Club were getting into the charts. And so basically, even though we had this particularly lauded album, Creation was basically kind of saying to us, well, that's all very well and good, but you're not in the charts. You need to be in the charts. And so what I think a couple of things happened. I think Lazarus was re-released in an attempt to get it back into the charts, and there was all that formatting nonsense that went on around that time as well.
Yeah.
Releasing it on 3 different
2 CDs and
Oh man, yeah.
just
Yeah.
marketing
Yeah.
nonsense.
Yeah.
And so I think when Lazarus was re-released, it kind of got to like 41 or something.
Ooh,
So that was
okay.
the
Close.
thing. So it was a really weird thing going into the next album, is that we had this kind of, even though we had this, wow, you've made album of the year and all this thing,
Mhm.
the weight that we were carrying was, yeah, but you've got to get into the charts, you know. And it was like, okay, how do we do that kind of thing? So so that sort of really influenced, I think, partly the direction of the next record, partly because some of it wasn't, some of it was us, you know. We kind of, it goes back to what I was saying earlier about what we loved about the 80s, which was pop music. So with the Wake Up album, you know, we absolutely wanted to make a pop album there. We thought, yeah, we
That was a
want to make
conscious
yeah,
decision.
the idea to make a 12-song pop album. I mean, you know, we said it in interviews around the time when people were talking about Giant Steps being this sprawling 17-song kind of thing. And then we said at the time, yeah, we want the next album to be a concise 12-song pop album. Which we failed dismally at, you know, that we didn't do that. We managed about 4, maybe 5 album there were sort of concise pop songs, and the rest of it was the normal kind of
weird stuff. Sure.
Weird stuff.
Yeah.
So but that was, but you know, of course the one that we did succeed with was Wake Up Boo, which of course then the other kind of touch point, which kind of, you know, not only sort of got us into the charts, but kind of created a sort of a radio monster as well. Which, you know, which is, a lot of bands go through it. You know, it wasn't particularly.
I don't know. Not too many do. I don't know. Not too many do have a big radio pop hit like that.
Not as big as that one.
Not as big as that. Yeah. Well, the other thing that also happened between those 2 albums was Oasis. I mean, what was the impact of Oasis, especially, I mean, going to Creation and just basically jump-starting Britpop, right? Which it was kind of building up, but they just basically, you know, put a rocket.
Yeah.
What was the impact of them?
Well, it's a very good question, because I mean, I guess I can only give the perspective of us, and one of the things is that we knew them really early on. They supported us a couple of times, and we thought they were brilliant. You know, it was just like, wow, they're a band, and these songs are incredible. So there was that kind of thing, and then there was the kind of, I don't know, the stepping back and looking, well, from a couple of perspectives. I guess the expectations on everybody else to keep up. There was also the what it did to Creation Records. Which it kind of destroyed.
Did all their attention just go to Oasis?
Yeah. Well, it changed the whole function. You know, I mean, basically, whole marketing departments and PR departments and everything had to be brought in. So it just changed the whole face of it. You know, and we used to go down and hang out at Creation once we'd moved down to London. But then there was security on the door, you know, and basically you used to just be able to just walk in, say hello to whoever's there, say, do you fancy a pint? Suddenly there was security on the door. There was paparazzi around. It's just like, this has really changed it. So it changed that landscape, and it also changed the cultural landscape, which was what I was, you know, really unhappy about, and where we really didn't fit. You know, I can see.
In what way?
Well, I could see Kurt behind Neil, and you know, and the whole thing for me was that, you know, we were very much aligned with that kind of cultural sensibility about, you know, a very feminist background. The very sort of open about things, and for me, it just touching on the hedonism. You know, what came along again was a sort of
the lad culture.
The lad culture, you know, which was really unfortunate. It brought with it, you know, a return to sexism. It brought with it a kind of anti-intellectual bent. You know, it reduced conversation to mad for it, good man, mad for it. You know, you know, as Jarvis Cocker, very, you know, sorted for Ease and Wiz. You know, that was as far as the conversation went. You know, that was unfortunate, and so while we were kind of carried along with it and we benefited from it to a certain extent, it also felt, well, we don't fit here. You know, this is
That's difficult.
This is not us. So it was very difficult for us to find our place in it, really. So it was a weird kind of time.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Did you were you friends with Liam and Noel? Did you know them well?
Yeah, no, we knew Noel really well. Liam's always been a bit. I mean, we knew Liam when we played with him, but Noel weirdly knew really well. Noel's a great guy. And when they first,
that's what I was going to ask.
Yeah, no,
we have this thing on the podcast. It's an ongoing thing where we're trying to work out of the two of them which one is actually the nicer guy, because we reckon Liam, but we don't really know.
Well, Liam was a very young lad and not very smart when he started. I think probably now Liam has probably matured a lot. Well, he has. He's matured a lot.
Seems like
I think he's matured a lot, and I think he's there's a humility there. I think that kind of that's been important for him. I saw him go through and being my experience was that he was a really lovely lad when I first met him, friendly. He obviously had his side to him, but I think the sort of what then happened was really damaging for him and his growth.
Cocaine, I think, but yeah,
absolutely. But Noel was different, and Noel really hasn't changed. You know, Noel is I mean, he's been through his tough times, but Noel's a brilliant guy to hang out with. The reason we got to know Noel really well was that when they first started, Craig Cash, who you probably know from the Royal Family, and he does the voiceovers for Gogglebox and stuff. He was a DJ. He was a DJ at Radio Stockport, and I think he knew Noel and he knew us, and he loved both bands. And he basically said, "Why don't we come up and do a thing together?" So we did a couple of shows, I think, and I think some of them are available on YouTube. And so it's got me singing on "Live Forever," doing a cover of "Live Forever" before "Live Forever" was even released. You know, that was just a demo.
Amazing.
What
did you hear? What did you think when you first heard that? Before, that's just an incredible song, right?
Incredible song. I mean, that was the thing, is that, you know, when I think we got a copy of the demos, you know, and it was just like, wow, those are brilliant songs. That was all we kind of ever thought with Oasis. It was like, they're a great band, they're really funny, they're nice guys, you know, and that was it really. And then it just became this other thing. And everyone just had to sort of exist in their reflection. You know, that was what was kind of going on. So yeah, and I think it was the cultural shift really that made us think, we don't fit here. I think we felt far more comfortable in that kind of I guess Nirvana, Pixies kind of you know, America.
I wanted to ask about that. So you played Lollapalooza, right? And you played in America
we did, but that was very weird. That was so
what way?
Well, because it wasn't really playing Lollapalooza. So what we did was we played the second stage. So which was the bizarre thing. And what so you get this thing, and what they'd basically done, I think Lollapalooza didn't really know what it was trying to be. It wanted to be a traveling Glastonbury. And so when it first started, it was just a one stage, and then they introduced this thing for second stages. So bands like The Verve, and we played with Stereolab, and there were other bands. There were nice bands. So, but it was kind of oftentimes we were just in a car park somewhere that was near the main stage. Right. So Lollapalooza was still held in, you know, it's not out in the field like Glastonbury or things. Still held in venues, and it was horrible. Really, it was horrible because one, there was the kind of thing where it was like you were kind of stuck out in a car park somewhere, so people weren't really aware of it. But the other thing is that just going and watching. I mean, it was a great lineup we had. The lineup we had was amazing. You know, it was, as far as I remember, Green Day was starting then, so they were on fairly early. It was Nick Cave, it was L7, it was the Breeders, it was the Beastie Boys. And I think Smashing Pumpkins. I can't remember.
I think so.
But so it was an amazing.
But you weren't hanging out with Billy Corgan and.
Well, we kind of were. We kind of did at times because you could have access to the backstage stuff. So, but of course, we had our own places to be and everything. They were probably flying around on jets and whatever. We were on tour, but what was really bad about it was that we'd go in the day and it was so corporate. So you'd go and the whole sort of front 50 rows or whatever were reserved for corporate later on. And so you had Nick Cave going out singing his heart out and there's nobody there, it's just like just a big gap to all the people at the back who want to see Nick Cave, and he's just a dot in the distance. So we were just like, this is awful, this is not good. So
did you also play with Sugar over there? Did I get that right?
Oh, that was brilliant.
We love Sugar on the podcast. Yeah, how was that?
They were amazing. Yeah, and Bob Mould's a fabulous guy. I'd forgotten about that. Yeah. That was before we recorded Giant Steps. That was
oh wow.
That was Everything's All Right Forever. I think Sugar was Bob Mould was doing stuff with Alan McGee and was on Creation. And basically he came to see us one time in London and just said, yeah. So we did that was our first time out in America. That was brilliant. Nice. I mean, that was absolutely amazing. We loved that. I mean, I think that's the one that sort of sticks in our mind as like the American experience, because it was the first time we'd done a proper tour. Bob and his band were just lovely. They were so lovely to us. And so that was incredible. And of course,
that's great.
We loved Sugar. Yeah, Sugar was probably brilliant.
Yeah, same. Fantastic. Let's get back to pop stardom. So you played Top of the Pops a couple of times from your childhood.
We did. How
was it to finally get there? It must have been amazing.
Well, the first time was brilliant. I mean, that was the thing, is that to get there was just like, wow. That was so all of those things, doing it for the first time was just like, wow, this is amazing. And absolutely loved it. But I think one of the things was that we kind of realized was that actually the reality of it is very different to the perception of it. And so it was brilliant to go in and see, the Top of the Pops insignia and people like Stevie Wonder and stuff were there. And it was just like, God, this is amazing. But then I think we just very quickly got tired of the treadmill of kind of promotion and stuff. And apart from anything else, I think we realized that we weren't very good at it. That's one of the things. It takes a certain quality.
I mean, were you on like fucking Zig and Zag and stuff like that?
Yeah. Oh yeah. We did Zig and Zag, and we said we wanted to do all this. And we actually Zig and Zag was one of the few that I actually loved. But we went on. We did Richard and Judy and Stevie UK and also all across Europe.
Richard and Judy.
Wake Up, It's a Beautiful Morning. Fuck me, it kind of it immediately lends to all the morning shows.
Yeah.
And I think we just realized, we're not very good at this. We're a we're actually a bit grumpy, and we're actually a bit kind of you've got to have that personality.
You've got to be a bit false, haven't you? A little bit false.
You've got to have that personality that revels in that kind of false self. Or like Oasis, you have a personality that people are just fascinated by because it's alien to them, or you can be very sort of one-dimensional, so it kind of it clicks with people. They're like, oh, this guy's like that. But if you're a bit sort of reticent and you're a bit thoughtful, it's not what they want.
Not on the big breakfast.
What were Richard and Judy like? Is he a bit of a knob?
Bless him. I mean, he just is Alan Partridge. I mean, he is. Really is. I mean,
but he is actually like that, right?
In real life,
and stuff.
Well, one of the things that we saw him do was like we were just setting up, and they were kind of talking about how they were going to introduce, and it was just so funny to see their to see their interaction, because he was sitting there saying, this is a happening band, Judy, they're shit hot, they're shit hot. and Judy was going, yes, I know. And it was just like that summed it up there and then, that's kind of,
brilliant.
Richard, he just desperately wants to be cool, bless him.
But that's brilliant. So you didn't, I'm getting the sense that you didn't enjoy being famous too much. Is that?
I didn't. No, I didn't. And, it was, and that was a shock, because I thought I would, that was one of the things that it wasn't just the music early on. It was kind of like this image of what being famous was. And, and of course, like anything, when you have a perception of it, you don't see inside the reality of it. And, no, I didn't, because it did involve doing things that were essentially just a bit boring, answering the same questions over and over again, sort of, having to be, we're the Boo Radleys, wake up Boo kind of thing, was just like, God, this is really uninteresting. and I remember looking at Top of the Pops. John Bon Jovi was on one of the same Top of the Pops as us, and I could see the joy that he had, after doing it, doing it 20 years at that point or whatever. And thinking, I can't do that. How can you do this for 20 years and get joy out of it? So, I mean, I had a tiny modicum of fame, and just thought, this is not good. And how people, it's no wonder, people like Liam and Noel, how you do that, I don't know. I mean, just the reality of not being able to go to a restaurant or kind of, go to cinema or something. Jesus, it's a terrible thing. How people do it, I don't know. I mean, essentially, I think it made me realize that I'm quite a private person, and that actually I kind of value that. Of course, you like getting your art or whatever it is you produce recognized, but I think I'd be quite happy to sort of hide away from that and just let the art represent itself. The idea of kind of, of me as a person being famous rather than the art or whatever it is.
Right. So you want your songs to be well known, but you don't necessarily want yourself to be famous.
Yeah,
got it.
Absolutely. What you produce, it would be, I mean, I always think Daft Punk have got it right.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah, that's a good way to
do it.
Yeah.
Did you meet Bon Jovi?
Oh God, have you? I mean,
you like stories.
As you are story, okay. So the story is right. We played this festival in Finland called a place called Turku, and it was a great festival. And we were all backstage, and it's a weird festival in that it's a set up along a river, so it's literally on the edge of a river. So we were playing this festival, and we were on earlier on in the day, and then Bon Jovi were playing later on. And the annoying thing is that we were quite enjoying ourselves, having a drink backstage, relaxing, and then of course all these security come through. We need to clear the backstage. John Bon Jovi,
get out of the way.
Oh,
peasants.
So absolutely, it was that. So the weird thing is that we kind of carried on drinking. But we decided, okay, we have to get out of the backstage. We don't want to go with everyone else. We're going to watch. So we waded out into the river. And at the time we were kind of wearing suits and stuff. So we were all pissed, rolled up our trousers and waded out into the river, and then ended up sort of waist deep in it. Bon Jovi starts his set, and he started doing that thing that really annoys me when bands get to a certain thing, which is they just don't bother singing. They just hold out the mic.
We came to hear you do it. Exactly.
So exactly, it's like, we paid to hear you. You're the one to sing. So we're stood in this river, sort of angle side of the stage. Can't really see him, but know what's going on. And just screaming, sing your own songs, you wanker. And this kind of thing. So in between songs, we started screaming this as a group of us. And then John Bon Jovi's head appeared around the corner of the stage to see who's shouting. So he just sees there a bunch of Scousers in suits in the river, just standing there shouting, sing your own song. And he just gave us the most bemused look in his life. So that was me meeting John Bon Jovi. We kind of
brilliant.
met eyes, shouted, "You're a wanker."
That's a great story.
That was how we met.
Love it.
Yeah.
People kind of accused you of self-sabotage when Come On Kids came out.
I know.
I mean, it wasn't quite as poppy and commercial as Wake Up. I mean, were you just making the music you wanted to make, like with Giant Steps? Was that it?
It's like I always say, the thing about that is that if anybody said that, they didn't listen to the first line on the album, because the first line on the album says, "Come on, kids, don't do yourselves down. Throw out your arms for a new sound," and that sums it up. We were just like, okay, we've had 300,000 people buy this album, and we naively thought, brilliant, that means we've got 300,000 fans. That means we can do something really adventurous, really out there. The stuff that used to, when you first heard Beatles records, when you first heard Revolver, and you just going, whoa, that's brilliant. So we thought we want to give them the same thing. Okay, they've had a kind of pop record, so let's do something mad and experimental, and they'll love it, and it'll be mind blown. I remember hearing the demo that Martin sent for Melton's Worm, which is like, oh my God, nobody's writing songs about having a worm that lives inside you, and I was just like, brilliant. This is the sort of thing that the Beatles were doing, just mad shit. And so it really was a shock when people saw it as like, oh, they're deliberately being obtuse and deliberately committing commercial suicide. I think it led to the breakup of the band, to be honest. I think we were so shocked and disappointed that that's something that sort of adventurous and exciting, and we'd got our mojo back. It really felt that that was it was a real shame. It massively knocked the wind out of us, and I think we didn't ever recover from that, really.
What do you put it down to? Why do you think people weren't kind of raw along with you?
I honestly don't know. It's a very good question. Maybe, well, probably because we got a false sense from Wake Up of how popular we were. People bought that record because they like Wake Up Boo, and that's not us. That's not us. I never thought that would happen, because I didn't have a problem with releasing something like Wake Up Boo, because our archetype that we always look to were the Beatles. And it was like, Beatles can put out a song like Good Morning, Good Morning, or Submarine, and they don't. And they don't, it's not like they get defined by those songs, they're just songs. And so we kind of thought that was the same thing. It's like, okay, here's a bright, breezy pop song, then we'll release that. People like that, and then we'll move on to something else. I don't think we realized that we would be defined by that. And maybe
we have to write music like that.
How do you feel about it now? In hindsight, how do you feel about it?
It is a double-edged sword, two sides of the coin. We wouldn't be able to be doing the stuff we're doing now without that record, and it did allow us to, we could have carried on in, I don't like the phrase, but we could have carried on in the indie ghetto, being cool and stuff. But that record made that we had those experiences. We did Top of the Pops, we were massively on the radio. Financially, it meant we could continue. It means that we have a recognition now that still gets us played on the radio, that without it we'd have been a kind of, I guess, a forgotten indie band who were mildly lauded. So you take the rough with the smooth. It's one of those things. It's like I always say, it's it's like having children. You're kind of pleased when one of your children's successful, but you kind of want all the others to be successful as well. So I kind of feel, the Wake Up Boo's great. That was a great song. I kind of feel that there's other tracks out there that were as good or better and could have been, it would have been lovely if they'd have been successful. But hey, we'll take it.
Interesting. So I guess so just said, just kind of took the wind out of the band basically, and then it did. I think
it did, and weirdly, there was a bit of. I mean, there's a sliding doors moment. I think in the. I kind of look back and think I wish we'd have been sort of better advised, in that somebody should have just put an arm around our shoulder at the end of the 90s and said, look, maybe you just need to go off and do other stuff for a while and then see how it goes. See how you feel. But we were never from that breed. We were kind of, look, you either do it or you split up, and that was it. And I think So we made the decision to split, and that was it. As far as we were concerned, in our mind, we're split. You don't get back together. Off you go, and you do your own thing. So that's what we all did. I kind of, there's a sliding doors moment for me that thinks, well, if somebody had just said, look, just go away for 2 or 3 years, take a bit of time out, and then see, if things might have been different, but not different, not better. The wind had been taken out of our sails, and by the time we came to record the final album, King Size, Tim, God love him. It was, Tim was the only way that album got made, because I think the rest of us had really kind of lost interest. I know I had.
Right,
I barely went down the studio at that point. I was just like, I don't really see the point in this anymore. We weren't doing fun stuff. We weren't even playing live, because it was kind of like, well, you don't really have an audience anymore. That was part of the problem, is that, we were quite happy to go out and play small clubs and play to anybody. But it was like, no, you have to have, I don't know whether that was part of the Oasis thing, that you have to have this trajectory. And if you're not playing bigger venues than last time, there's no point doing it. And we were kind of like, what bollocks to that? We just want to play. Which is, we just want to play.
Interesting. You got back together in 2020.
We did, yeah.
I mean, pretty unexpected for a lot of people. I mean, what brought
unexpected for us? Unexpected for us. I mean, what basically happened was that Tim, just before lockdown, Tim came over to my 50th birthday party. We hadn't seen each other for years. I mean, we stay in touch, but we hadn't seen each other. And he just said, "Will you say, I've written some songs, will you sing on them?" And I said, "Yeah, I've got some songs, will you work on them?" And he went, "Yeah," and that was basically it. Over the next 6 months, these files just fly. He lives in Northern Ireland now, so these files were just flying backwards and forwards, and it just developed. And suddenly we were sitting there going, "Well, we've got an album. What do we do with it?" And that was it, really. And we talked about, do we want to do this? Do we want to be the Boo Radleys? What do we do? And in the end, we were just like, yeah, let's just do it. And it's been absolutely brilliant. We're so pleased we've done it. Being able to kind of go back out and going back to the roots of what we love, which is playing and writing music. And that's what's so good. And we're in the position where we don't have to do things that we don't want to do. But more than anything, like last week in France, it's just like, oh my God, this is what you love, playing the music, being on stage with a band. It's just like, oh, thank God we can do this again, because that had pretty much disappeared towards the end of the 90s, and you don't lose
that's nice
the thrill for that. It's absolutely lovely. We love it. So it's great. It's great to be back. It's great to be writing songs again. It's great to be putting stuff out, and there's no pressure on us, and that's it feels so different to the 90s, when everything was kind of couched by, I mean, from us as well as other people, about, you got to do this and you got to do this and you got to be more successful and you got to play bigger venues. And now it's just like, doesn't matter. Whoever's there in front of us will play the songs.
We hear this a lot. The bands that we talk to, like, the pressure's off now. You're just doing it for the love of music.
Absolutely. It's brilliant.
It's got to be the best way.
So good. Yeah.
Can I ask, did you ask Martin to be involved with the reform version?
This is a contentious thing. I mean, Martin disagrees that he was asked. He was asked, but he wasn't asked, I think, when he wanted to be asked. So I think what happened is that I went over and saw him. He's in Cardiff, and once me and Tim had all the stuff there, or the songs kind of ready, that's when I went and said, "Look, we've done this stuff. Do you want to be in?" And he says he wasn't asked. He was asked at that point, but I think what he means is that he would have wanted to be asked to be involved at the very start, from the beginning. So it was a bit of a misunderstanding. So I think, from that point, I think we kind of got off on the wrong foot for it, and I think he just said no, then no, and Martin's been a solo artist. He's carried on. He's been a solo artist for 25 years, and I think, he's probably got used to that way of working, and probably, Martin probably didn't want to be involved unless he felt that he had more control. And so I think he felt not being involved from the start meant that he wouldn't have, and he's very, Martin's very self-sufficient. So I think the idea of being back in a band, which is sort of more, I guess, democratic, probably didn't appeal to him. So it's fine. It's kind of it means it's very different way of working, and obviously it's not in songs. But then the Boo Radleys has always been about moving things forward and doing things differently anyway. So it's kind of good.
Yeah.
Now got this iteration of the band that's got completely different set of songwriters. So it's different.
Sure. All right. I'm conscious of your time, but we've got one last question, if that's okay.
Yeah, no worries at all.
One last. If you could have been in any other band in the 90s, who would it have been and why?
Oh my God, that's a really good question. Do you know, there's probably somebody. Do you know what? Who I really liked? I really liked Teenage Fan Club. I think Teenage Fan Club were great, just because they always looked like they were having a good time, and they were really nice guys, and they were comfortable with themselves, and they made some great music. I could probably come up with a lot of other bands, but they were the ones that I always felt. I don't know. They just always felt really comfortable to me. They were so lovely, and they just seemed to be enjoying the situations that they found themselves in, and I always felt they had a really good attitude.
And they really comfortably kind of crossed the US-UK divide, didn't they? Teenage Fan Club. They did it effortlessly, right? It's amazing.
Absolutely, yeah. I think that, I think I would have liked a bit of that.
Sure, brilliant.
Great answer.
All right. Where's the best place for people to find out about Boo Radleys tour days, the forthcoming album and stuff? Where's
I think it's well, we're sort of redoing that at the moment, but I think the Instagram, look up Boo Radleys on Instagram. There is a website, booradleys.co.uk, I think. But the usual socials, just have a look for the Boo Radleys, and we're in the middle of planning and all that at the moment, so that'll all launch fairly soon.
Right. All right. Thank you so much. I'm going to stop the recording, but don't escape just yet. But thank you so much. That was great.
Pleasure.
Sice from Boo Radleys. He's a nice guy, isn't he? Dave, did you enjoy that?
Yeah, I did. It was good. But I just couldn't have time for the last 4 minutes. So I've missed the reason why Mike isn't in the latest formation.
You'll never know.
But all right. Well, we'll talk about it after. Yeah.
Tell me now.
Don't tell him.
You'll never know.
You can't even remember his name.
Wasn't in it?
You'll never know.
He's not
You'll
dead,
never know. You better go and have a listen.
We would be
later.
making a joke of it if he was dead. No.
But that's all you're getting.
He gave a kind of a. What do you reckon about his answer, Neil, to that?
I don't think there's any love lost between them, is there? But I think they're both probably respectful of each other. But yeah, that's probably as far as it goes. Do you think?
Yeah. Basically, he said that they're kind of there's two sides. So on their side, they invited him to join the band, but they'd only done so after the other three had kind of already got together. The way, kind of reading between the lines, it feels like maybe Martin thought he should have been asked at the start. And
he wanted to be involved in the songwriting process and stuff.
Basically, Sice was also saying he's probably a bit too. He's so used to being a solo artist these days. He might not adapt too well to being back in a group again as well. So that's kind of the reason.
Because it's more of a. It sounds like it's more of a collective process now that isn't the way that he probably works.
Yeah, which is fair.
That's it, really.
Which is fair.
If you'd have fucking listened to it, you'd know. Anyway, I was just repeating ourselves here.
Until that last.
The listeners have got to listen to us repeat ourselves because you can't be bothered to listen to the interview in full.
I didn't hear what his favourite band would have been to have been in.
Anything else? What bits did you listen to?
Who do you think it would have been? Have a guess.
Oh, I reckon it would have been Dinosaur Jr.
That would have been a good answer.
No.
But no. You have to find
out. It was
out.
Teenage Fan Club. I just told him.
Yeah, I know.
I got so many notes though. He has so many cool things to talk about and interesting stories, and he was such a nice guy. It's really open and really, really good, eh?
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah, loved it.
Boo Radley's big in France, right? I often think this is quite strange how bands become big in other countries. It's weird, isn't it? It is weird. That's all I've got to say.
Yeah, the
sometimes it's like a random
thing,
isn't it?
Did you see that documentary of that?
Searching for Sugar Man.
Yeah, Searching for Sugar Man.
Right. Yeah, that sort of thing.
Oh, I fucking love that documentary, man. I loved it.
Yeah. It's sad. It's sad. He's died now, isn't he?
Yeah, he has, yeah.
Quite recently.
I just like stuff like that. Sense were big in France as well, weren't they? I know he lives out there now, but I think they were big before that. Yeah, I just find it interesting how other countries get hold of the music and stuff.
Yeah, like my friend's band, the Pipettes, they were big in North Korea for some reason.
There you go.
They got big in North Korea.
I guess that didn't bring in much money.
No, I wouldn't have thought so. They
don't have money, do they?
That. They don't.
I was saying to Dave, this band that I used to play with in Bournemouth, it got quite successful in the UK. They're on Jules Holland and stuff, called Air Traffic. Bit sort of Coldplay-ish. They did all right here. Like, they had a couple of top 40 singles and stuff, but they were massive in Belgium. Like, they were headlining all the festivals over there, and they still do. Like, they reform occasionally, and when they go over there, they still top the bill everywhere.
Maybe one of them was half Belgian or something. And then in Belgium, they can call them Belgian band Air Traffic.
Nah, I don't think it was that. Just random, a lot of the time.
Yeah.
I
liked him talking about watching Top of the Pops as a kid, being his gateway to music. I mean, like most of us, it's the same, right?
What do kids do now? TikTok, I guess.
Yeah, which is fine, right? It's all good.
Yeah. As long as there is a way, I don't really care. As long as there is a way for kids to find bands, doesn't really matter. There needs to be that, doesn't there, to inspire people.
That was interesting. He said pop became overblown, like in the late 80s. Pop became too overblown, and indie music was more interesting. I guess it's true. I think pop music became good again in the 90s, but I think that kind of late 80s period,
Well, it's all the Stock Aitken Waterman, Phil Collins, all that dirge.
Yeah, I wouldn't blame Phil Collins. I'd blame Stock Aitken and Waterman.
Yeah, probably right. Yeah, because, Phil Collins, whether you like, he's a great drummer, Phil Collins, and he was good in Genesis. He's all right, Phil, isn't he? No jacket required.
No.
Yeah, but
no jerkin required.
What was Simon Cowell doing at that time?
He was dressed as a Teletubby.
He was like shagging Sunita.
He's the other reason pop music went south.
Yeah, that was more 2000s, though, wasn't it? That. Yeah.
But he was working, wasn't he? He was working his way up.
Yeah. It would have been.
Yeah.
Destroying British music.
It was probably sucking Stock Aitken and Waterman off in the back room somewhere.
All of them. He was. Of course he was.
Do you reckon? That's libel, isn't it? Let's take it out.
I didn't say he definitely was. He just said he probably was.
Right. Okay, so that's all right.
It's a fair assumption.
It's
a fair assumption.
They're all men. That's the only way it could have happened.
What do you mean?
Well, because you're treating homosexual behaviour as something sordid and bad.
It's just sexual behaviour.
Oh, I didn't read it like that at all. It's just a way to sleep his way to the top, basically.
It's just, making his way to the top.
Yeah, fair enough.
That's how I read it.
Anyway, we talked about that. That original album, Ichabod and I think there's a lot when bands talk about their old material, whether they should remix it so it sounds better, like now, or whether they should just leave it alone as it was made. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If the production was the real problem, they should redo it.
You think? But isn't that part of it?
Why not?
That's part of the work.
That's a historical document, isn't it?
Well, it would still be there, wouldn't it? That original version.
It's like when we talked to Ed Smash about it, he wasn't happy with Smash's album, right?
Yeah. I don't know. I guess as long as the original one is around somewhere, it's all right.
Yeah, I guess if you're not replacing it, you're just offering an alternative.
No, I guess it's no different.
It's all right.
It's no different to remastering stuff so that it sounds better on the radio and stuff. Yeah, I guess. As long as there is that original intact sort of thing,
Yeah.
But to the common person, right, remastering it doesn't make any difference.
It doesn't make it louder.
It's only to Neil's ears it does.
It's only to people like you.
It doesn't. Honestly, if you...
I knew this would get him going.
If it's not remastered...
It's the same.
And you play tracks one after the other, the one that hasn't been remastered, you'll have to turn the volume up on Spotify. Because the volume will go down. It's as simple as that.
What's the problem?
Simple as that.
Just don't remaster any of them
just
then.
turn the volume up
It'll
then.
be fine.
Yeah, but it means you don't have to keep turning the volume up and down.
Well, it's not a big imposition, is it?
It's not just volume. It does do other stuff as well. But that's to the layman.
Yeah, but the way they market it is as if it's something amazing.
Well, it makes it sound better. Well, it's a sales thing as well, isn't it? Because they want you to buy the album again. Whereas you could just turn the album up louder in your stereo. That's true. Or walk.
The power of a single compliment. That's a interesting.
From the
I'll
right
never get
person,
any.
right?
From the
I
right
never get
person.
any.
No, it's just that positive
Why would you?
reinforcement. It's interesting, isn't it?
I don't know. Power of a compliment. What? Yeah, what are you saying?
He's still
Good,
fishing for
positive
one, isn't he? But
reinforcement.
it's not coming now.
No, no.
Give him one
I
day.
won't
Give him
get
a
any.
compliment. Give him a compliment. Go on.
He did compliment the van earlier. But that's
Yeah, he's
not
done
me.
a very
He
good
did.
job on
That's
his
an
van.
object. But what are you referring to?
You've got a very nice knob.
Yeah.
Well, I
mean,
saw
it's
it in
true,
the van,
but-
didn't I?
Oh, right.
Don't know, did you?
I could have done.
Might have
We
snuck
had
up
the
on me in the
opportunity.
night and had a look. Dirty bastard.
Did you bring your magnifying glass with you then?
That Hitler thing come over to news in Japan, Luke. The news
Hitler
about
thing?
Hitler's knob.
Oh, he's got a micro
No.
penis.
Is this recent news?
Yeah.
Well,
They've
no,
discovered
was
his
it was
penis was unusually small.
one of the pub quiz team
Mm.
names was Hitler has a micro penis. There were some good pub quiz names, actually, wasn't
Right.
there, Dave?
Mm.
Can't think of any now.
Oh, right.
though.
Same as Elon Musk. Interesting.
Yeah, there's a power
Oh,
thing
is it?
going on there, isn't there?
Apparently so. Yeah.
Or is
So
it just a
I think like
rumour
all of
people
his
start?
whatever 13 children have been done by, he gives them the sperm and makes them.
Oh, come on, that can't be true.
Yeah.
Right.
Are you sure it's true? Because that could be a bit libelous too.
I've got no idea if it's true. No, I just said it. I mean, I heard it.
I mean, any publicity is good publicity, right? If we get sued for like $1 billion.
We're getting off the interview a lot.
We got the last instalment of Noel Gallagher saga.
We have, yeah. Again, it's leaning back towards him, hasn't it? The last few
Yeah.
reports have been leaning back towards a good guy.
I think we got to accept that he's a good guy
Maybe.
I don't.
Yeah.
accept
against
it.
all our better instincts.
So at the moment, they're
It's-
both good guys.
There you go.
Fooled us all along, didn't they?
They did indeed. Yeah. Although we'll keep it open, but it is definitely leaning back towards that way. I really enjoyed him talking about Alan McGee speeding off his nut.
No, I
and all of
wanted
that
to
kind of
say
stuff,
that.
man.
Then I was going to say
Oh, yeah.
afterwards, no, because I was going to say, weren't we all?
Well,
I don't
you
wanna-
could have said
I
it. You
don't
could have
wanna
just said,
admit to
"Weren't we
that.
all?" You could have just said, "Weren't we all?" After I said it. You didn't need to
I
have
was
the
too
whole
busy
line.
getting annoyed that you said it.
Well, okay,
yeah,
you
just-
say it. Go on. Go on.
No, no, it's done now. It's fine. Just
Well,
use
it's
your
interesting because I watched a film on Sunday, Creation Stories, with what's his name? Spud out of Trainspotting plays Alan McGee in it.
bot. Okay.
And
Yeah.
Oh.
fucking brilliant, really, really good. Everything
like
in there.
Spud,
It's
he's
got him, signing Oasis and all of that. And yeah, it's really cool. And the guy that he mentions Dick Green, right? Who also run Creation with him.
Right,
Nobody
yeah,
talks
that's-
about.
yeah,
He's
yeah.
in that, and I didn't realise, but I looked him up, and he now runs Wichita Recordings, which is a great
Okay.
record label.
Yeah.
Bright Eyes, Yeahs, Elastica, The Pattern, loads of cool bands. So yeah,
I
but,
mean,
the
you
film's
can't-
well worth a watch. Brilliant.
Brilliant what he said about Madeley and that.
Yeah.
and his
A good
summing up.
question.
Yeah.
I'll give you a compliment. That was a very good question to ask, and
Thanks.
he enjoyed it a
Yeah.
lot. So yeah,
What happens with the interviews. You've got to be a bit. You can't come up with those questions straight on because he might just think, "Oh, what's this? This is a weird interview." So we were friends by then. Well, I thought we were, so we could drop stuff like that.
we
in.
were. Yeah.
But you do wonder if it's just an act.
You can
with
picture
him,
it though.
but
His
it's
like
not,
impression
is it?
of him and Judy
Yeah.
speaking. You could imagine exactly, can't you?
He's just like that in real life, obviously, which is mental. Isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Yeah. Going back to Creation, it's interesting. He was saying how Oasis kind of professionalized it. It was interesting having to get their
Well, they had
security
security
and
and stuff.
marketers and all kind of. They basically, they made it a professional organization. That was interesting because they had bigger stuff to deal with.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think when press starts
I mean,
hanging
they're
out
just
around, you have to, don't you?
Yeah.
also, it's
Yeah.
just so much. When Oasis went stratospheric, their income must have just gone up by 20 times overnight.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got a
Yeah.
lot more to lose.
Yeah.
And it's sad that all the other artists got neglected, but it's just inevitable, isn't it?
Kind of, yeah.
Sadly.
Yeah. And of course, what he's saying about changing the cultural landscape as well was interesting, talking about sexism. We've talked about before, but anti-intellectualism was an interesting kind of way to look at what Britpop was.
Definitely. Definitely. It's the tabloids, isn't it? Tabloids getting
Mm.
involved. They're anti-intellectual, like
Yeah.
Reform, anti-intellectual.
just dumbing down
In
the
fact, yeah.
discourse.
I mean, I was thinking the other day about reform, and it's not really brown people, the foreign people that they hate. They hate the intellectual people, and the people. Obviously, if you're brown or whatever, it's not going to feel nice at all to have this reform party powerful and so on. But it's us they hate. They just can't stand
I hate lefties.
anything remotely intellectual. Yeah. So when they say, "Oh, I'm not racist," they actually mean it.
I don't know about that.
You think they think they're not racist?
They think they're not, but obviously it's a side effect. Is if you're in a small group.
Well, they've been made to believe.
Feel bad.
They've been made to believe that racism doesn't really exist anymore. You can say what you want now. It's fine.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there is a liberal elite. Well, it's not elite. There's a liberal middle class.
Like you that are
there
really
is a liberal
woke.
middle class that have more money than them and have a better life than them. And that's understandable. Then you've got, the class above, which are, they're the opposite. They go the other way again, right? You got the super upper class that are very right wing. The people in the middle are left wing, and they do have a better standard of living, and your life is better for them. So it's understandable that they fucking hate them, and
they just
needs to be sorted.
They just want someone to give them some hope, and that unfortunately Reform they're doing that.
But they're not.
Obviously,
they're not giving them hope.
Bullshit. Yeah, they are. They're giving them false.
They're not. They're giving them
hope.
grievances. There's no hope in their message or their policies. There's nothing positive. It's just grievance.
Well, they hope
politics.
if they get rid of all the stuff that Reform want them to get rid of, then their lives will get better. So that's hope, isn't it?
No, it's just vindictiveness, isn't it? It's want to be punch and thrash and throw a tantrum. It's not going to achieve anything. And they know that.
I know that. I know it's not
going
going to achieve anything, but people think it is going to achieve something, don't they? That's the point.
I don't know. I kind of sympathise in a way.
I do.
People have been fucked over by every successive government, so it's understandable. But of course, reform's not the answer. But
their lives have been made.
Well, neoliberalism needs to be dismantled and destroyed. That's the answer. Isn't it?
I mean, we're quite lucky, but some people's lives have been made unbearable, almost unlivable. You're going to be angry and afraid, aren't you?
Yeah.
Someone needs to sort that shit out. I'm not going to do it. I'll do my bit if I can. Right. Let's get back to the music. They made Wake Up. They made Giant Steps, critically acclaimed, got all the awards, but no one bought it. So then they made Wake Up. Everyone bought it, not so critically acclaimed, and not what they really wanted to do. And then they thought, well, now we're successful and people like us, we can go back to doing what the music we really want to make. So they made another sort of non-mainstream album, and then no one bought it. People, the masses.
I did.
Fickle.
That's the only album I bought of Boo Radleys at the time.
Said,
come on, kids.
I thought, right. So, there's a problem there, right?
But it's
interesting,
isn't it? They were talking about the Beatles, and they're from Liverpool, and they saw that the Beatles did what they would like to do. Mm-hmm. And I think what's amazing is actually that the Beatles managed it rather than that it didn't work for the Boo Radleys.
Not many bands can do it. The Beatles did it. Bowie did it very, very well. He brought his audience along with him. However he changed every incarnation, and he progressed, and he brought his audience into the future. Bowie, Beatles, not many bands can do it, right? Not many bands can. Even like a band as big as Oasis, right? If they suddenly went like avant-garde, post-hardcore, their fans wouldn't go along with them,
Well, I didn't go along with them when they went sort of Beatles.
Right. That's because the songs weren't as good. But,
well,
so you claim.
So
you claim. You think it's cool to say you don't like the Beatles, but
it's cool as you saying you never watched fucking Star Wars. It's the same thing.
Fair point. His Bon Jovi story was very funny.
It's good, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, I love that.
I know that river in Turku. Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah. That's where my Finnish ex-girlfriend was from that city.
Veggie.
Did you swim in it?
I don't think so. I don't think we swam in it, no.
Did you frolic naked in it?
Not that one. Did frolic naked in the lake, but not in the river.
Did you?
Well, not not completely naked, but most not just the two of us. It was like a thing. It's like a group thing.
Oh, right.
That's what happens in Finland. No, there was.
Well, if you're not completely naked, you're not naked, are you?
I mean, no, I guess. But there was a lot
just have a leaf.
Fig leaf. Yeah,
sounds idyllic.
Yeah, it's good. It's good crack.
Another one that wasn't very big on the whole fame thing. I don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Well, he said that. He said he thought he wanted it. He thought he wanted to be famous, but the reality didn't match up to the expectations.
I know I want to be famous, though. I know it.
You don't, Neil. You don't. If for example, if today's episode goes viral, you'd be mortified.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't.
Embarrassed.
Oh,
I would
be
so embarrassed as fuck.
Well, that's it for that one. Thanks so much to Sice for coming on. If you have enjoyed this one, or if you haven't, give it a thumbs up. Get involved in the comments. Let us know your favourite Boo Radleys stuff, tracks, gigs, all that stuff. If you're at Shine On, get involved in the comments. Let us know your highlights, who you enjoyed, or unexpected highlight. And if you're listening, rate, review, share it with your friends. Go on, share it with your mates so that they can find the podcast. That's the best way. And they'll be into the same sort of music as you, I reckon. So do that. Go to our store. Go to the Stupid and Contagious store. I'll put a link in the notes. Bag yourself a t-shirt. If you're quick, I'm going to put the order in before this goes out, but if you're quick, you'll be able to get the size you want. So still don't hesitate. Still get in there quick. And you can get it before Christmas. So do that. Dave, do you want to mention your All Giggly business?
Yeah, the app's moved to allgiggly.com/Stupid and Contagious podcast, and that's where you can just get a quick access to all the episodes, mixtapes and videos in one spot.
And you too could have your own app soon. That's what you need to say. Something like that.
Yeah, maybe I can sponsor the podcast at a later date when it's ready.
All right.
Be double for you. Double for you, but yeah.
Fair enough.
If you are new to the podcast, welcome aboard. We got a big archive there. So if you're into your shoegaze, we haven't got that much. I'd like to get a few more shoegaze bands on. We have spoken to Mickey from Lush, though, who was had a very similar journey to the Boo Radleys, right? Shoegaze into Britpop. If you're into that, if you're into Britpop, we've got loads for you. So have a look in the archives. There's loads of good stuff there.
My aim is when I go to Shine On that we've done everyone.
All right, that's the plan. That's the plan.
If they're a 90s band, we're getting there. We had quite a lot. If we were playing Shine On Bingo, we were doing all right.
Smash, Ultrasound, Ash, and Spiral Carpets, of course. Jesus Jones.
Although it's the other guy, but Jesus Jones.
Loads. I'll make a mixtape for every episode, Spotify mixtape for every episode as well. So I'll put a load of Boo Radleys stuff on there from across their career, and a load of the stuff that Sice was talking about in the interview as well. I'll put that on and make a properly curated mixtape for you. So check that out as well.
All right. But that's it for this one. Join us next week for the big 120, isn't it? Huge one.
Yeah.
It's just episode 120. But yeah, join us next week. But until then, Dave.
See you in a minute.